Hello, hello, hello. Testing the sound. Hello everybody. It's nice to be talking live to all of you. And I'm just gonna type, and actually I'm gonna ask you if you can hear me okay. If you can respond by saying yes or no, I'll try to fix if there is a problem. Okay, perfect. So apologies, thanks. Apologies for a small delay here, but I prepared a few updates for you today. As we are about to hit mass production right now, actually yesterday I signed a fourth version of the ladder to the factory, to the manufacturer. Basically saying them, we'd like which parts components we'd like to use, and we are saying them, go, green light. So hopefully Monday we'll start SMT and assembly of the parts, and then the shipment of the units. But before that, okay, good. I'd like to be louder. Sure, I will be louder, of course. I'd like before I talk more about the production schedule, production and shipment schedule. I prepared a little presentation, but I don't know if you can see this one very well. Anyways, I'll try to comment. So. Our project manager, production manager in Shenzhen, he was taking pictures of all the components and basically checking the quality of almost every mechanical part that arrived in the manufacturer warehouse. And that's the way we call the device right now. It's called Senstone 1.0. Okay, slideshow. Okay, this button doesn't work in live show, obviously. Ooh. Okay, yeah, let's just do it this way. So this is the touch sensor. As you can see, it's a very, very thin copper foil, basically that goes beneath under the screen and allows to activate the device. By the way, the version that most of you will get in the first and probably second shipment will not have the touch sensor activated. You will activate the device by the press of the button right here. So that's okay. This part is fine. This one is a photo film that allows the light goes out, and basically notify people of different actions. This is another part of the screen. It also arrived in the quantity that we need for the roughly like half of the size of the batch for now. This is the screen itself. It's plastic part. It's a PC polycarbonate, but it has extra cover, like a plating to make it good protective against scratches. Okay, let's go there. This is a tiny part which goes in the back of the pendant or a clip. So as you can see, the clip here has this tiny part, and the pendant also does have that. It's there, it's waiting for the assembly. This is a pogo pin, very important part for the charger. One of the reasons, by the way, why it's important. I mean, everything's important. I mean, it wouldn't get to the production, and the product wouldn't be ready if there is at least one thing missing or mounted improperly. Yeah, I know but still, why Pogo Pen is important. We also discovered it's gold plated. It used to be brass plated, but we discovered with our amazing beta testers that it actually covers with a little bit of I don't know. It basically becomes inusable after 1 or 2 months if it's brass. So it has to be golden plated. The contact goes well if it's gold plated. So this is one of the most important parts. It's called metal housing. It's basically the ring that holds everything together. It's also in place. By the way, just black color this time. So the first batch is going to be only black, as you may remember from one of the updates. And it basically holds everything together. Very important piece. I mean, pretty much everything in this part is as exact as 0.1 millimeter sharp. And yeah, so it's also gonna say Senstone on the side. This is the pendant itself. Also, the tiny lace goes inside of it. But this is the example. There are, I believe, at least 1,000 of pendants right now in the warehouse. It actually should be all right for the whole batch, because in this batch that we ship, 530, I believe, around 500. We'll have about half of it in pendants. So actually, not everyone ordered those, but I actually use pendants. I like it. This way you don't think about the device. So this is a small, tiny piece, super important. It's stainless steel. This is a little button on the side. And again, you activate and deactivate device with the press of this button. This is the clip. One of the reasons why we delayed is the clip issue. So it used to be stainless steel. We experimented with different materials. It appeared we can't really use stainless steel. It doesn't have enough spring force, so we have used spring steel. And we managed to cover it with the color that we want, which is black in our case. So here it is. It's a black spring steel clip with the spring force being 4.5 kilograms. It used to be 1.5 kilograms. So it's 3 times tougher, stronger. It won't fall off even if you were upside down. Your Senstone. Okay, that's the back part of the charger, and this is the charger, the top charger. We added this little fixture for the pendant so that it gets good contact with the charger. This is how it looks live in real life. This is the photo that we've taken on the manufacturing side. Looks pretty nice. The tooling was redone twice because of that, but again, we had some people expressed, not so many, few actually, but still, it was noticeable. Now it's not turning when the pendant is on the charger. So this is the old charger, and now this thing will turn. Now with the new charger, it won't. This is back and the front of the packaging. One new thing about the packaging is it's transparent cover, and this is the back cover. Says basic stuff. for Senstone. This is the packaging, the way it just goes together, everything. Uh, Actually, this is the way you're going to receive it. And this is I believe, the last slide that I put here. It's the warranty and the instruction manual. It's going to sit between the clip and the pendant. So just FYI, it's going to be there. Also, it protecting clip from getting too close to the pendant, so that no scratches are there's no risk of scratches. But yeah, that's the packaging. So I'm gonna make a little pause here and just check if you have any any questions. Sorry. It's a YouTube channel. So it's a YouTube channel. Okay. Hello. 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 Okay. So please let me know if you have questions on the presentation that we just made. I just made. Yeah, if there is any question about the the parts that go into the first batch, maybe you have any concerns or any thoughts, let me know just here in chat. Okay. If you Yes, so the question about the touch sensor, yeah, um, it's really a technical issue. So the touch sensor requires much more development time, and with the touch sensor, so there are three ways we can go with activating Senstone. First is the click of a button. So right now I've activated it, disactivated. Second is with a tap, like this, right? It could be double tap or one tap. And third is a press. Basically, it works with the touch sensor that I just showed in the presentation. So with the touch sensor, and so in development, the tap is the most difficult part because it involves accelerometer. We tried it many times. We didn't like how it worked, so we've decided not to do tap or double tap. However, the touch sensor worked well, so I tried myself. Actually, several people in the team did. However, there is a chance that oftentimes people would make, some mistake activation. So they would just touch it when they would pull it out of the bag, or mistake, occasionally would activate the device. So for that reason, we need to make sure that, so every user would, to make basically you sure that you've activated or deactivated device. This is the best option, is a click of a button. It's physical, it has good feedback, taptic feedback. With the touch sensor, you can also hear and see that it's activated, but we'll still have to work on timing. So in our case, we'll have zero point 0.2 seconds to zero point 0.8 seconds. That will be the activation time. So it won't be activated from just a tiny scratch, but it will not activate also from from a long press. So only, when, so basically you will be able to activate it like in the iPhone, like you press, you hold, so it's on, after you make a meaningful touch. So it's not yet ready, but we're working on it. We aim to finish it soon. We'll do a pretty good amount of testing before we release it, but this one is the one that you can, actually be like 100% sure. Okay, I actually started recording. So um, that's the story with the touch sensor. Okay. Okay. So if there is no question about the parts, the mechanical components, again, all of these are in the warehouse as of today, and they are ready to be assembled. So now about the assembly and the whole production process. So a lot of okay, I'll start with electronic components. Electronic components been in the warehouse for about a month, actually even maybe two um, already. The mechanical, we had issues that I described. It's the clip issue, the top charger, actually metal housing as well, because the new one is gonna have larger holes here for better acoustics. Okay, I just seen the new question. How well will Senstone first batch perform? Sometimes the first batches don't work well. Yeah, okay, I will give an answer to that in a minute. I see. Okay, I'll come back to that. But the major cause for the delay was the battery issue. So we discovered that about 3% of the batteries were blown. So we've been changing the supplier of the batteries. We placed a new order. They have to be produced before mid-September. So and our manufacturer didn't really want to use those one, although I didn't see a big problem in those. We didn't, maybe we had one or two non-working units, but it wasn't a big deal. They think it's a big deal. We had some issues with batteries in the past, so they didn't want to let us through in this batch. So that's why it takes so long, like all the bureaucracy, etc. But finally, we are done with that. We resolved the battery issue. So here how it's gonna look. Here's how it's gonna look in terms of timing. The SMT, it's a mounting of electronic components on the PCB is gonna take 4 working days in the factory. Um, 7 to 10 working days will be spent on the assembly. This is the most important part, as there may be a lot of different mistakes in terms of the assembly. For example, we discovered that in one of the test batches, they pressed the battery too hard into the device, so so something was broken in the battery. The contacts were not very well, but very good, and the sensor would just turn off by itself. So that's very important. We would take more time here just to make sure everything's okay, and then packaging basically happens the same in the same process, same stage, and then shipping to Hong Kong another 2-3 working days, and from Hong Kong warehouse to the addresses around the world, mostly US, but also other countries, Japan, Europe, and this is it. So if you do a math, it's roughly 3 to 4 weeks if we measure count from Monday. But they have not. So I signed that letter, but the CEO of the manufacturer should now give the green light. They basically produce some kind of the very important document which goes in files, and only then they can start the production. So I hope it's going to start early next week, and we'll have things rolling for Senstone. So now, about the question of the quality. Okay, what I mean is there's a difference between. Okay. Will we have the option to wait for delivery to get one with a fully functional touchpad? Yes, Jerry and Grayson, I can check in which batch you are. If that's important, we can put you in a second or third batch. Um, but what I want to tell you is this. With our app, you'll be able um, to, of course, make updates of your software and hardware firmware. Well, sounds very weird, but yes, of your firmware of the Senstone. So this is the here you can see the version of your app. Like below in settings, it's Senstone development app, version 156. So in now, if I go in settings, I go to my um, yeah you yes, you go into my Senstone, and you will see the little link that would allow you to update the firmware of the Senstone. And when we release the touch sensor, you will be able to update to a touchpad. So this will be active. You'll know that there is this update. Um, we'll do an email notification as well, and you'll be able to update your firmware right here on this device, so the touch screen will be activated. All these parts will be inside of the unit. All you have to do would be click the button. It's yes, it's a firmware issue. So we're there are other important things that we are finalizing now in the firmware. Something you kind of never gonna see, but it's super important for development, like process of development. It kind of allows us to see where each crash happened, if it happened. So that's one of the features we are adding now in the firmware. So as soon as we're done with that, the touch sensor and longer recording are the next features in the pipeline. Yep. Thanks, Grayson. Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's better to be sure and yeah. So okay. Um, let's then move to the demo. I'm gonna, that's actually the second part of this update, is the demo of the device. So this is the glaze version of the unit. We've been trying different colors. This one is, and we called it glaze. This one is matte. The final one is going to be a little more glossy, but it's not going to ship in the first batch. So when the unit flashes with the blue light, it means it's searching for the connection with for the connection with the phone. Okay, so um, okay, so let me log in here because I was logged out. Um, Give me a sec, because I have 1, 2, 3 sandstones here, and not that this one was connected. So the other sandstone was connected to my phone. So now I have to reconnect. So I'll just make a little pause here. I'll go to the other room to connect it. Okay, I'm back. All right. Okay. So, one more second. Sorry. Hey. Okay, now it's transferring all my tracks. So, just a quick update. If you ordered two Sandstones, just be careful not to be in the same room with many, like 2, 3, 5 devices, because all these Bluetooth stuff they get messed up, and you don't know which Sandstone you've connected to. So right now I'm connected. I am supposed to be connected to this one, but obviously I was connected to a different one. Thanks. Okay. Yep. Okay. And thanks for commenting, by the way. I was actually wondering, this is my first live stream in YouTube, and I was like not really sure if I can hear you back, but now I see I can read what you say. That's great. Okay. So it's still transferring tracks. I don't know why, but it's just doing that. Anyways, um, okay. I think I'll just leave it like that for some time because. Hmm. Okay. So as far as I can see, it's it's still transferring tracks. So by the way, if you want to know if it's working with your phone at this moment, there's a little light indicator in a bit here, right here, a little lower than the center of the Senstone. So this way you know that it's working with the phone and transferring tracks, like a little arrow. So it's still working. It doesn't mean I can't record, but it won't show up. But let me try still a few tricks here. So I just killed an app. Um, yeah, so the recording actually stopped. Okay, now it's transferring again. So what's happening on the phone? Actually, you will know that it's transferring or syncing. Up here, you will see those nodes happening. So the ones are that are up in. Okay, I'll answer the question later. As you can see. Um, So right now there are no color little color boxes up there in a upper part of the app. This means it's not syncing with your device. So now I'm gonna take a quick note here. So I'm talking to our backers and we discussed the Senstone quality and parts and production schedule and a bunch of other things. So again, this thing shows like this when it's transferring. Most of the people who tried Sandstone, they don't really care much, and they would check phone for notes like much later, maybe once or twice per day. They would just talk to this little thing. So here is the note itself. I don't know if you can see the text, but There it is. We are still working few things out in the backend. Basically, we're switching between different speech to text engines right now. So you don't see punctuation here. Also, at this moment, I can't use hashtags. But when it's going to be released, you be able to do that. Okay, closer. You can see the text. Okay, so of course you'll get audio as well, so it's preserved in the cloud, so you can get the idea of the context if you need. Now back to your questions. Okay, so it's a short range. I'm not a technology person, but it's a short range mic. So we the sensitivity of the mic is optimal. Is the best distance is like 8-10 inches. So um, uh, the quality compared to iPhone, I think it's well, I don't know. We have to test. Um, we use pretty good mics that are in the market. It's definitely not the cheapest, and I'm not aware of anything more expensive. It has to be accessible, right? The parts that you use for the device. So um, we use noise suppression as well. So um, I think we'll have to run some tests, but it's pretty good for short range recordings. If I was standing like 1 or 2 meters away, it would still record and you can hear my voice. Not sure about the speech to text, but yeah, and you can write music and you can record other people if they agree. Yeah, it's really for capturing your thoughts, anything like on the go, in the car, when you commute, um, between the meetings, like super busy, etc. Quality, about the quality also, 16 kilohertz is actually the way we measure the quality of the sounds. 256 kilobits per second. If you can use this for music recordings, I would be extremely impressed. Uh, Definitely, you can use it for music recordings, but it's not professional sound um, mic. It's not, it's not pro version. So maybe in the future, but that's not the goal. Again, I mean, the goal is like you empowering you to do something you will not be able to do in the past, like in 1 or 2 or 3 seconds. Um, Okay, now here's another technical challenge. This is Android. I have Android app here. It died. I'm not Android user, so I don't even have a cord to charge it. There are a few differences, like the way how it looks from iOS app. Um, okay, answer the question later. But for example, one of the things we just released in Android app is multi-select of notes. Especially very useful when you make lots of recording throughout the day, and then like later you want to shoot it into your, I don't know, Evernote, Emacs, etc. So you do multi-select and share. Um, yeah. So there is Android app. It works. I've been testing it like 1 or 2 days ago. It works very well. But again, the phone is not working. So, uh, anyways, if you have more questions, let me know. And one of the questions is, yeah, I'm not sure what corpus linguistics is. As far as I understand, the question is about analytics for the notes. Yes, we'll definitely do that. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, we have to select the analytics that matter to people. You can't do every feature. For example, part of the analytics is already in there. So in the app, save notes with location. So every note can be saved with the location by default. So later in the map, you'll see, oh, okay, I was in Boston, in Berlin, in Nicaragua when I was doing that note. Yeah. So there are a few features that help you get better understanding of where you were and what was the subject, context, etc. Hashtags are something you can add your. Yes, yes, sure. So you can do hashtags while you record. So the way I would use that is do like this. Press the button and say hashtag live stream. Uh, we've discussed touch sensor and click button and production, blah blah blah. So next time, if I make like 5 notes or 10, much easier to find through the hashtag. Um, again, it's not going to show up in this version because we're doing some construction works in the backend now. So uh, it's not activated. But actually, I was wrong. The hashtags do work. I wasn't very um, so yeah, it's working. Obviously, our developers did a good job. It's just punctuation that doesn't work now. Yeah. So yeah, hashtags work. Language analytics. Yeah, I don't understand what exactly you mean by language analytics, but yeah, but there are many different languages. If well, in English, because we oftentimes are asked, like even today, I was at one of the events, and they would ask me, like, "Do you have translation?" So you have to think multiple languages at the same time. But yeah, you can do a bunch of interesting, great analytics there. But what makes me really excited is predictive stuff, predictive analytics. So based on how you use the patterns, where you've been, how long, and which time of the day, and what exactly the subject, so maybe some kind of a summary, etc., etc., etc. We can do so much different analytics, and it could actually help you be more productive. So say I'm a blogger, I'm a singer, I'm a talented guy, and I'm very productive in the evenings, 8 p.m. So it would tell me go and do something, not eat. So yes, analytics is super important. We definitely for it. We gonna be doing that, but we want to see the metrics. We want to see how people use, and we'll definitely consider every single feature, and it's in the list in the huge Trello board. We consider every of those and collect feedback of people, and that's how we decide which one to put in the roadmap. Okay, I'll go one by one, the question and answers. Also, this is end of the formal part. Well, formal, the prepared part. So there was, the production update and the product demonstration. So, if I missed any question here, please just type it, and I'll try to respond. Okay, scenario, your pod singer records your dictation, converts the text. The text has an option to colorize, so red is high frequency use, blue is uncommon. I didn't think about this. Um, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, that's one of the things you can do. By the way, we've seen that oftentimes people would pay attention to the quality of speech to text. So most probably will pay a lot of attention to the quality of speech to text. And there are a few tricks we can do to improve it. One of them is when you say something and doesn't understand you correctly, it would highlight here and the specific word that there is a doubt about its whether it's correctly transcribed, and you'll be able to select the 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 right um, uh, transcription, the right word. So this way, the engine would learn. So, and it's just one of the tricks we'll use to improve, one of the features we'll use to improve speech to text. So, but yes, you can do multiple things, and that's one of them. Highlight more and less commonly used phrases, words. Hmm. Okay, now I get what you mean. Like, so to know that it's a buzzword, right? It's my buzzword is right, 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 right. Okay. Um, okay. Good. So, okay. Okay. Mm, I see there are 7 people now in the room, the virtual room. I see Jerry Sinla's 8K Inator 96. Um, Also, of course, Ossie Jacko, Grayson, Artem. Okay, I think I listed pretty much everyone who dropped a line here. If you have any questions now, please let me know. If not, just shoot me an email. Basically, I read this email, or you can contact me here directly. Um, and we'll definitely analyze those features because I mean textual analysis is super important. So we'll try to include anything that would help you guys be more productive. So Osijeko, 1 minute loop. So this device right now. Oh, sorry. I keep um, switching. This one. This is the one that I'm using now. So this one records in 1 minute loops. So its green button, green indicator is on, which means it's recording. Um, Everything I say now. So it's gonna end at 1 minute by itself. The reason we did 1 minute was basically the backend issue. It wouldn't allow us to do the speech to text translation of the tracks that are longer than 1 minute. But we're gonna change this because after doing some testing with people, we realized, okay, it's more important to actually have this recording. So speech to text is important, but being able to record longer is also important. So I'm not going to switch it off. We'll see that it's kind of off after it's 1 minute. Batch 3, we'll see. I mean, the batch, okay, it's off. So batch 3, it's hard for me to say the exact week. I think the second batch could be like end October, November, then later maybe in December. But as soon as the update in the firmware is out, you'll be able to update your firmware. So it doesn't really matter which batch you're in. The hardware stays the same. Everything is the same. It stays the same here. I mean, yeah. So it doesn't matter. As soon as the firmware is out, we'll roll it out, and you'll be able to use it. It doesn't matter which batch. It doesn't matter. First, second, third, all units will work with the touch pad. Will you post this video on your site? I joined the podcast later. We will not delete this video. It will stay. You'll be able to access it and watch it later. Definitely, the recording of it. I believe so. Okay, I see there are more ideas about the text analytics. Thanks. I'll we you know we'll yeah we'll try to. Well, we'll definitely discuss that in our team and with the developers. It's not gonna happen like today, tomorrow, but we'll definitely consider that. Thanks. Yeah, so I was just saying about the Android app. It's on this phone, which is dead, unfortunately, because I'm not an Android user. It was 26% yesterday, but I was using Senstone with Android. So it's working, it's doing everything, transferring tracks, it works with your cloud account, preserves all tracks, does speech to text, multi-select of the notes. It will have some other limitations, but uh, at least in this version of the badge, it's going to have some basic functionality that you'll need to use Senstone. Okay, Stan Mom. Yes, why has it taken so long? Okay, where to start? I'll probably start with the January batch. So we have released our 200 units and shipped 100 units to people. But then we didn't pass one very important test in the production facility. It's called ESD, electrostatic discharge, because everybody accumulates some static energy, and you actually give it out to anything that surrounds you, but we don't feel this. So what the device does, so it would die or sometimes reload once you touch it. So that was a problem. We had to fix it on a hardware level. It took us I think 2.5 months. I may be mistaken about time, but roughly, because we did the redesign, we added a few parts, we produced another sample, we did another round of tests. So back then I was in Shenzhen. So in May we actually have been fighting that problem. Another issue was waterproof. It's also fixed now. Um, so that was another reason why we delayed for a few months the release. But when we've been working on these things, we also been upgrading other stuff like acoustics. We improved acoustics. We improved the charger. We actually improved the battery. So the battery is going to be like 5 to 10% larger capacity. So many things we did, and as well software, Android and iOS. iOS became considerably better. So and works with iPads too. So that's the reason. Then we plan to ship in June our first batch. I think I said in the update July, but the battery, the bloating issue. Like we went to the warehouse and discovered, okay, out of 200 batteries, they said like a very high number, like 35 batteries were bloat, like thick. Like what? And then it appeared it wasn't like out of 200, it was out of 4,500 from the whole batch. But it doesn't matter. It's not supposed to be bloat. It's not supposed to be thick. So yeah, so another major delay was because of the battery. So we've been, over the last few months, we've been working on that, finding a new supplier, working out the deal, getting, the old battery back to that manufacturer. So it was the whole story. But this issue is fixed. So that's another 2 to 3 months delay. And one thing, and okay, I see those questions. Just one sec. So about the delay, also the HR issue. So in June, I was leaving Shenzhen in, I think, end of May or beginning of June. I'm not sure. So when I left Shenzhen, it appeared that 2 PMs has changed. So 2 PMs left our project, one new came in, but then some. But we kept one. So this guy, we kept the guy who was in our project, but still the new PM that was working inside of the manufacturer, preparing for the batch, was kind of new to the project, and she didn't know so many things, and I didn't know many things. I didn't know that they had all this bureaucracy about how you launch the mass production. It's a big deal, obviously. So we delayed for that time. And again, real, great apologies for you all guys about this, because something that doesn't make us feel great. But we did everything we could, and we doing our best to ship it as soon as possible, and the best product we can in this time frame. Okay, I see more questions, more technical questions. What format and bitrate are the audio files? I will send I think. So the bitrate I said, it's 256 kilobits per second. The format is, I think, WAV. What's your plan for software updates for the first year after the batches have been released? Okay, we have the roadmap of the product development for at least a year and a half. So the next big thing is analytics. Whether it's AI, not, it doesn't matter. It's really analytics. So that's a big software part. Um, on the hardware, as I said, um, it's the touch sensor and longer recordings. These are ones that we want to implement as soon as possible. Can we export audio notes into Dropbox or have it do it automatically? Yeah. Well, I'm not saying yes. I'm just trying to say that theoretically it's possible, but it's not possible now because we have our own app and it allows you to save notes in here, audio in here, set reminders here, to-do lists here. But yeah, there is an integration. It's gonna go in the neck. But here it is, actually in the settings. But I don't use Evernote. I think what I last thing I recall is that we're gonna do Evernote and other. It's right here. Um, so Evernote is gonna launch, and other integrations will launch a bit later, maybe a month, 2 months from the launch of the first batch. Um, it's important to do integrations, but again, I'm not promising this because um, it's important to do integrations well. So in Evernote, you can create a number of different events. So, and I don't know which events you are using, or maybe you want to just record a note with audio with like no text. So it's yeah, it really needs much more research and feedback from you guys, and then we'll make a decision. Yeah, I agree. Evernote, OneNote is okay. Well, step by step. Can we export? Yes. What's the procedure for backing up out of Senstone? So I'm not quite sure. Do you mean backing up your tracks or notes? If that's the question, it's all backed up in a cloud account. So in this app right now, I'm using my account. Sorry, here it's a little guy in the upper right corner. So it tells me what's my profile. It doesn't have a photo, so sorry about that. But they have your name and an email, so you can even log out if you want to use other email. But it's basically the yeah, it's the the backup is in the cloud, so you won't lose what you have. That's easy. So just by deleting an app, of course, stuff will not disappear. Okay. Yes, 1 minute loop. Then you can I utilize Senstone as a Bluetooth mic in other apps? Theoretically, but not now. We need to build a good working API for that. Yes, Evernote, OneNote, Microsoft agree. Um, thanks. Um, can we download our notes from the cloud onto a PC? Okay. One of the features that's on the roadmap is web access. So you will use you. The idea is using your email account to access your notes through your laptop, desktop, whatever. So yes, it's on a roadmap. Maybe not the way you imagine it, but we want people to be able to access their notes from the laptop. Does Senstone have a desktop Windows Mac client that connects to your Senstone account and downloads your file? So, okay, no, we don't. Yeah, so the reason is pretty technical. We researched a little bit the Bluetooth of the MacBook and Windows machines. It's very hard to make this Bluetooth connection stable. With Senstone and iPhone, we've been working on stabilizing connectivity for months. Because it's audio, it's very important to preserve the quality, etc., etc. So, no, it's not working now. I mean, you can't connect Senstone to your computer directly. With the web access, that's it. That's a point. We haven't thought about the details of how you're gonna add it, how you're gonna work on your notes with web access. But that's one of the thoughts we could use. One of the features. I think all the web PC download things will come later in that timeline. Pretty much yes. Oh, uh, desktop to Senstone Cloud. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Sorry, what you mean. I can ask this question our dev team. I'm sure they're gonna have a very qualified response. So um, we'll include it in the next update. I think the best way to do it. We're using AWS for the cloud service to use as cloud service. So, but it's not iCloud. As far as I know now, it's basically Senstone cloud, and it's encrypted. So on both ends, actually, hardware and software. So anything, even if Senstone is found by some other person, they will not be able to access this stuff without having access to your account at the same time. Okay. Okay. Well, if anyone has more questions, okay, there is more clarification here. Will there be a desktop client for WinMac that connects to Senstone account? Will there be a desktop client for WinMac that connects to Senstone account? Okay, Win and Mac are different, so these are different apps. That's the first thing. I'm not sure if we can do both at the same time, uh, but I don't know. I mean, maybe. Why can't you access your notes with just a web? I mean, on Chrome or I don't know, Safari? Like just going to Senstone website, logging in, and seeing your notes. Um, yeah. Okay, Jerry. Thanks. Yeah. Sure. No assumptions. Something in about later because access isn't up yet. Yes, I mean we really have to work on it. We need to think through different scenarios and the most importantly the features that people will enjoy and are gonna use. So, but web access is definitely on our mind for many months already. It just wasn't our top priority as of today. But I agree. I mean, it's really great to work here, like with with a computer, and even like dictate all day and then come back and be able to access and do edits. And it could even integrate with your Google Docs. Just not very sure about the security with Google Docs. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So do you guys have any more questions or thoughts, comments at this point? Sure. Okay. So if there is no more questions at this point, no more comments from you guys, I'll just ask my final question to Stan Mom 3 uh, about why has it taken so long and three question marks. So did I give enough explanation to you? You happy? Okay, cool. Okay, so I haven't seen a response from Stan Mom. I take she is happy with our explanation. Okay. Um, Thanks a lot to everybody. And again, like a lot of apologies for that it taking so long. I know you're waiting for the product to arrive. We're doing our best to make it happen as soon as possible. So thanks again for your time, your questions, comments, ideas, etc. We'll be in touch and talk soon. Bye.